All right, today we're going to be using the starter code base to build a Pay2 Lightning address app. This is the repository. You can find it under Satoshi Bitcoin-Lightning app, uses Python and the Django web framework. Here I am creating a clone of the repository, making a virtual environment, and then activating the virtual environment. That way I can move into the directory and install the requirements. So from there, let's go ahead and do a pip install the requirements.txt. Excellent, all the requirements are now installed. From there, let's go ahead and set our environmental variables. We'll create one for the Zebedee API key and one for the secret key. And we can see an example. Now let's go ahead and generate a fresh secret key. We'll go ahead and enter the Python shell, import the get secret random secret key function, and now use the get random secret key function. Now you can see I got the output, and I'm going to go ahead and paste this random secret key into the environmental variable. I already have my project pulled up, just like Ian showed you how. I'm going to copy the API key, paste it in, and now we'll go ahead and exit the Python shell. Now let's go ahead and run the server and make sure everything is set up properly. Oops, went to the wrong endpoint. Now you can see that everything's set up. We're pulling the project balance from using the Zebedee API. Now let's go ahead and get started. Here in the views.py, if you're unfamiliar with Django, you can see this is where you create the routes as well, not routes, I'm sorry, the views on the back end side of the server, and then you can pass variables and information from the back end to the front end's templates. So now I pulled up the Zebedee doc portal, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the views that are needed. Just skimming through this as I've done this a few times myself. So now we're getting the template file. So we have the view set up for the index, and now we'll go ahead and create the base HTML, and then we will use the index with the container information, so then we don't need to have the structure or skeleton of the HTML document. We just need to pass in the containers, and here you can see some of the code. All right, great. Now we have the content block set up, and you can see here this allows for a lot of flexibility and easy code management for your front-end templates. And now you can see this is the block, this is the title. So the index HTML passes in the content here, as you can see with the containers, and then the title, and it extends the base.html, so it's important to have. And here is the HTML that we'll need in order to create our Pay2 Lightning address flow. There is a minor bug that we're working on getting updated in this tutorial. We need to add the name in the amount. It is in the wrong place. That is my mistake. That should be fixed by the time this video is released. All right, great. And then we'll go ahead and create a success template. That way, if the payment is successful, everything will be good to go. All right. Oh, minor error. We need to update the folder, or add the folder rather, and then this should work. All right, fantastic. So we have our form, we can see the balance. Let's go ahead and tidy up this HTML file quickly. We need to move the powered by Zebedee underneath the form so it flows a little bit better. Probably not necessary for the tutorial, but hey, what can I say? I'm a bit of a perfectionist. All right, so now let's go ahead and actually work with some backend code. We need to handle the post request, and we need to be able to handle the get request from the forum. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you know most information about request response cycles and HTTP request types, such as get and post. That's all that we need for this tutorial. Here we have the amount variable, so this is where we use the request.post object that Django gives us. to access the form data. So we're going to get the amount, which is in Satoshis, and then we're going to go ahead and get the Lightning address. And this is the same as the name property, or attribute rather, in the HTML form. So that is how you can go ahead and access it. Now let's go ahead and get the function for pay-to-Lightning address. You can see that we've already imported our object using the community Python SDK that I developed. So the object's already instantiated, and we'll go ahead and pass in the ln address variable, and then we will also need to convert this into millisats, and we have a function for that to make it quite easy for you. So now we just need to pass in as input the amount to then move it from sats into millisats. Okay, great. So this is looking really good so far. Now let's go ahead and pass the amount and give this a try. So here on the post request, we'll handle the form data, we'll complete the payment, and then we'll print out the response so you can see what the structure of the data looks like. You can also check out the doc portal as well. Let's submit the form. Oh, we had an error. So we received an unexpected argument, amount sats. So we need to remove that. My mistake. I'll make sure I get the documentation updated. So we'll submit, and then we got another minor error with the context, but the payment is firing successfully. As you can see, the status is completed. So this looks good. Let's go ahead and fix this error. We need to move up the context. So when we render the template, we can get the balance again, and we can convert it from msats to sats, and this will work when we try to handle the success case. So now this should work. And also, we do want to render the success.html template if the payment is completed. So if it's not completed, we'll go ahead and re-render the index.html with the context. And then if it is successful, then we'll go ahead and show the success.html. As you can see, here is the template. Okay, everything looks good. Let's try this one more time. You can see the balance updated and the previous request was successful. And submit. Oh, we got a minor error with the end block. This has to do with the template formatting, so let's go ahead and fix that up on the success.html. This is because of a plugin that I was using called Prettyfy to make the structure of the document very clean and neat, but it was causing me some problems, so I debugged that and fixed it. So now we'll go ahead and re-render the page. We'll see that the balance has updated yet again, and then we'll go ahead and hit submit, and voila! Your payment was successful. And that's how easy it is to build a simple Lightning Network application with the Zebedee API. Let's go ahead and check our wallet balance and verify that the payment was received. And yes, it was. There we go. We received that payment 1 second ago for 21 sats, just as we expected. And I did do a couple test runs while I was debugging the Prettyfy, and that is why you notice the balance was a little bit less there. And you can see now it is working exactly as expected. And boom, 21 sats less, and the payment was received to the wallet, and we got the response back. Great job.